Hi guys, I'm starting this new video series on practicing the ROR cards with you. And ROR cards stand for, of course, the rules of the road cards. And I thought this video would be useful for the students who will be appearing for their oral examinations for either the second METS or the Chief METS certification. So I thought I'll just discuss 7 or 8 different cards with you, and I'll make a series of these videos. So hopefully I should cover all these cards in the near future. So let's start with this, and I hope that this video is useful for you guys who are preparing for the orals preparation. All right, so normally these cards are shown by the oral examiners to candidates to test their knowledge of the lights uh, that are displayed by other vessels, and also what action you would take if you see this vessel, as well as to describe their day signals and fog signals in restricted visibility. All right, so let's start with the first card here. So if you look at the first card here, you should be familiar with the lights that are displayed by different power driven vessels before you start attempting these questions. So this is particularly for those who are appearing for orals and who have familiarized themselves with the rules of the road. All right, so if you see the first card here, take some time, pause the video if you want to in this section here, and then think about how you would be answering to the orals examiner. All right, so think about which is the masthead light, which is the side light that you see, what are the additional lights that you see other than the navigation lights, and whether do you see any stern light or not, what are the characteristics of the lights that you see here. Think about it, and then I'll give you the answer in the next slide here. All right, so you see there's a green over a white light, then there's a white over a red light, then you see a higher white light, and then you see a much lower red light as well. All right, so these should give you some kind of hints. So the answer here would be that the vessel is a trawler, which is probably 50 meters or more, making way, hauling nets seen from the port side. So you remember the red light that you saw on the down low, that was the port side light. The green over the white light indicates that it's a trawler. If you see this vessel as you saw it from the port side, you would give one short blast and then alter course to your starboard. All right, you will alter course to your starboard. The day signal of such a vessel for trawler is 2 cones with apexes together in a vertical line, as well as displaying the flag Golf or G. The fog signal for this vessel would be 1 prolonged followed by 2 short blasts. If you see the next card here, try to find out what lights it is displaying. So what are these 2 white lights on the extremities? What is this red, white and red light in a vertical line? What are the 2 red lights in a vertical line, and what is the red light below? So as we saw in the previous card, the red light below indicates that we see the port side of the vessel. The 2 white lights on the extremities indicates the masthead lights, that's correct. And let's understand what are the other lights referring to. So pause the video here, take some time, note down what would be the lights according to you, what kind of a vessel is this according to you, what action you would be taking, and what day and fog signal should this vessel be displaying. So this is a dredger, which is probably 50 meters or more, restricted in her ability to maneuver. That is what RAM stands for. So the RAM is the red, white and red is the RAM, or the restricted in her ability to maneuver lights, with obstruction on the port side. So the 2 lights that you saw, red lights, is basically displaying the obstruction on the port side, making way seen from the port side. So it was making way because you saw the 2 masthead lights as well as the port side light. And you know, because you saw the port side light, you see the port side of the vessel. When you see this port on this vessel, then you will sound 1 short blast and alter course to starboard. Alright, so basically you see this on your starboard side, and you're seeing the port side of the aspect of the vessel, right? So it must be crossing from your starboard side, so you will sound 1 short blast and alter course to starboard, all right, to keep clear of this vessel. The day signals that this vessel will display is the ball, diamond, ball in a vertical line to display the restricted ability to maneuver, also 2 diamonds in a vertical line on the safe side, and 2 balls in a vertical line on the obstruction side. So basically, if the obstruction side is the port side, as this was the case in this vessel, this vessel will display 2 balls in a vertical line on the port side. And the fog signal for this vessel will also be 1 prolonged followed by 2 short blast. Alright, let's take this third card here. Again you see 2 white lights in a line, then you see another white light on the other side, and then you also see 2 red lights. So start thinking about what this vessel could be. So if you see 2 red lights horizontally placed apart from each other, this should indicate that you are seeing the port side of a vessel. But if you see 2, then there should be some 2 vessels involved, right? And then you see 2 white lights one over the other. This should tell you that this is some kind of a towing vessel. Alright, and if there is 2 red lights involved, so there's a towing vessel involved which is towing another vessel. Only then you would see 2 red lights on the side. Otherwise, how can one vessel show 2 red lights, right? So this should trigger some alarms in your head, and you should start thinking in that direction. So as I was pointing out before, this is a power driven vessel. PD stands for power driven vessel, towing probably 50 meters or more underway with a tow of 200 meters or less seen from the port side. So you see this vessel, you are seeing the port side of this vessel. Alright, and the tow is 200 meters or less, and the towing vessel is probably 50 meters or more. So if you see this vessel, you will of course sound 1 short blast and alter course to starboard. There is no day signal for these vessels. For the towing vessel, the fog signal will be 1 prolonged and 2 short blast, and for the towed vessel it will be 1 prolonged and 3 short blast. Alright, let's take the fourth card in question now. So fourth card again in question, again like I showed you or before I was discussing with you guys, whenever you see these 2 red lights, this should indicate that there are 2 vessels involved. If 2 vessels are involved, and additionally you are also seeing these 3 white lights in a one line, this should indicate to you that this is some kind of a towing operation that is going on. Alright, and that's how you should start thinking about. So once you think about the towing operation, start thinking about what could be the length of the tow, what is the length of the towing vessel, why are there 3 vertical lights, white vertical lights in a line, why not 2 as in the previous card. So this should indicate, or this should trigger some thoughts in your head, and you should start jotting down these points in your mind or on a paper before answering to the surveyor. Alright, so let me show you the answer here, and you can pause this video for a second and then note down whatever you want to. So the answer will be, this is a power driven vessel which is towing probably 50 meters or more underway with tow exceeding 200 meters seen from the port side. So when you see these 3 white lights vertically, it should tell you that this is a tow which is exceeding 200 meters, which was not the case in the previous card. That's why there were 2 white lights. Of course you are seeing the port aspect of it, so our action will be 1 short blast altering course to starboard, right? And the day signal for these vessels will be 1 diamond each on towing and towed vessels. This is because the tow exceeds 200 meters. The fog signal for the towing vessel will be 1 prolonged and 2 short blasts, and the towed vessel fog signal will be 1 prolonged and 3 short blasts. Alright. Then let's take the 5th card in question. So this 5th card in your question, you see a green and a red light at the bottom there, and you are facing this green and red light, so that means you are seeing both the port and starboard side of the vessel. That means the vessel is coming head on towards you. Alright, that should be the indicator. So if you see both the side lights, that means the vessel has to be head on coming towards you. Then you see these 2 bright yellow lights, and that should indicate something to you as well. Then you see a red over a white light. Alright, and make note of these lights and think about what these lights could be. Is it a fishing vessel? So what is this light? A red over white light. So these are some of the lights that you should become familiar with. And so when you see these lights together, this should trigger thoughts in your mind as to what kind of a vessel this could be. What could be these 2 flashing yellow lights? So the answer is of course fishing vessel other than trawler. So whenever you see a red over a white light, that should be that indication. Using purse seen gear extending 150 meters or less, making way seen on. So you can see here those 2 flashing lights were basically indicating that the trawler is using the purse seen gear. The nets are extending less than 150 meters, because if it was more than 150 meters, there would be another light associated with it. Alright, and you are seeing it end on. That means you are facing it. So you basically head on course with it. So of course when you are on a head on course, you will sound 1 short blast and alter course to your starboard. The day signal for such a vessel is 2 cones with apexes together in a vertical line. As you will see in my future videos, if the nets extend to more than 150 meters, there is an extended cone, or there is an extended extra cone that is attached towards the direction of the nets. And finally, the fog signal is one prolonged and two short blast. Finally, the last card for today, and if you see the card here, again the green over the white light should indicate a type of vessel to you. The green over the red light should also tell you something, and then a white light towards the bottom of the card. Alright, so think about what this green over the white or green over the red means to you. What is this white light at the bottom? Is the red light a side light? Is the green light a side light? No, it cannot be side lights, right? So the way their lights have been positioned, you should be thinking about what kind of lights these could be. If it's not a side light, then what aspect of the vessel are you watching? What is this white light towards the bottom of the card? So what could be that light as well? So as you see here, like I was indicating to you guys, this is the way you should start thinking about. This is a trawler making way, hauling nets seen from astern. Alright, so because you knew that the red and the green could not be side lights, so that means you are not seeing a port or a starboard aspect of it. So naturally you were seeing a astern aspect of it. That was the white light towards the bottom of the card. That was basically indicating to you that is the astern aspect. The trawler lights we've discussed before as well, and hauling nets, you know that. So once you see it and you are seeing the astern of it, that means you are basically approaching it from astern. So when you do that, you sound one shot blast and alter course to your starboard. The day signal for such a vessel will be two cones with their apexes together in vertical line, and also flag golf or G. And the fog signal for this vessel is one prolonged followed by two short blasts. Alright, so I hope this discussion of these cards is a bit useful to you. I'll keep discussing different cards in my further videos as well. Let me know if this is helpful for you, or whether you want to watch more of these videos or not. If it's not, even then you should let me know. I'll appreciate your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you guys with my next video. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for following my videos and sending me feedback. Most of it is always very positive. All the best with your study, guys, and best of luck with your rules preparation. Bye.